Okay, we have our next stranger here. Would you be able to just tell us your name and a little about yourself?
Sure, man. So my name is Ruben, or people call me RJ, but I go by my alias Official Crow, which is also the name I use for my stream and for YouTube. And basically, what I do is I explain people on Twitch and on YouTube how to grow their Twitch, mostly according to the fact. Oh,
Oh, hold on one second. Come on in. Sorry.
Do you still want to watch a movie tonight?
Yeah, eight.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
good.
perfect.
Probably a little bit after. That's 8:50.
Okay. Sorry, we're we're gonna have a movie night here at home, so yeah, but go for it.
oh, sweet, man. If you want to start over, that's totally fine. I mean,
Oh,
depending on what you want.
no, no, no. This is all unedited, my man. So, but
Okay.
you
All
were
right.
talking
Just
about your Twitch.
Yeah. So basically, on my Twitch and on my YouTube, I explain people like how to grow their Twitch, mostly according to the fact that I'm not sure if I should say this, but I grew my Twitch in about 3 weeks. I went over to 3,000 followers,
That's
which I think is quite
amazing.
fast. And since that growth, I basically thank you, man. It went honestly really fast, and I try to help people grow. As I was like also explaining to you that in pre 2020 and pre 21, it's like so hard and difficult to grow on these platforms. Think about YouTube, Twitch. Think about the new streaming platforms that are coming up. I think it's for people so hard to grow because so many people, especially since Corona's out there, it's really hard to grow because everybody is pushed to either do TikTok, to do YouTube, and especially on these platforms, so many people are doing it. And it doesn't matter whether you do gaming, whether you do cooking, dancing, whatever you do, so many people are already doing it. And then the only issue that remains is how do you compete against these people? How do you get like above them? And that's purely just making content. Like what I tell people is on YouTube, it's like pure dedication. As I said to you, videos can be bad, videos can be good. That's just a fact. Not every video is going to be as good as the other one. Um, but you got to see like if you don't make content, you won't grow. That's just a fact on YouTube. Like you got to make content, and no matter the outcome of the video, it's just the fact that you make content. I think that's the main key point.
So, would you
And
be able to provide the? Do you want to put your Twitch name on here, just so that, and I can put in the
yeah,
description
yeah,
below for your video, just
sure
so
thing,
we
man.
can continue to siphon people your way.
100%, man. Totally down for that.
Official crew.
There you go. Yeah. So that's basically my alias online that people know me from. It's also what I use for Twitch, for YouTube, for gaming, you name it. Um, and yeah, it's basically explaining to new starting streamers and YouTubers, like telling them how to grow, what to do, what the best strategy is to basically growing a YouTube or a Twitch channel or whatever platform. Really, it can be any social media.
So, what would you? So, like, I am a new YouTube content creator. What would be um, some advice you would have to give for me and for other young YouTubers?
I think the first thing when starting a YouTube channel is to think of an idea like what exactly is your goal with your YouTube. There's people who want to make a business out of their YouTube. There's people who just want to do it for fun. According to your channel, called Building Bridges, I kind of feel like that's a reference to building connections between people.
Hmm.
So right now, as I saw your videos, you're talking to people on Omegle, trying to see what their story is. You'll tell your story and all that, because I know there's a video on your YouTube channel where you explain what your story is.
Hmm.
And the main key point to starting anything, whether it's, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, think about what your goal is. So for me, that's, giving people streaming advice, telling people what the best strategy is to growing a channel or a social media platform. And for you, that might be, building a connection between people, how to talk to someone. If it's maybe awkward to talk to someone, how can you avoid, awkward conversations, for example. These are all kind of ideas. Yeah, I mean, they're honestly ideas to bring into something. But I think the main key point is like, what is your channel about? Gordon Ramsay, we all know he's a chef. Jimi Hendrix, the guitar player, like all those kind of things. They are not like live on Twitch or anything, but it really comes down to like what is it that you want to do with your Twitch or your YouTube. So I would say step one is to when you start something on a social media platform or YouTube, what is it that you want to get out of it? Like for me, that's streaming advice. For you, that's maybe building connections between people, and be so also choose something that you're passionate about. Like don't start something. For example, if I would start a YouTube channel, about healthcare. I know like literally nothing about healthcare. I mean, I know basic stuff about it, but it's
Yeah.
not like I'm professional about it. So yeah, like think about what you want to base your channel upon, and then also choose something that you're passionate about. Like it
So
doesn't mean you need to know. Sorry, go for it.
yeah, no. I was gonna ask you what you think. What do you think it is about helping people? Like, what is it that you think happened, or some part of your life that made you want to make a Twitch that helps people to create things?
For me, it was really to point like I was always I want to say a heavy gamer. I was always a gamer just by choice because I really loved games even when I was younger. And there was a certain time where I was looking at people giving, like streaming advice, how to grow your channel. And I've been watching so many videos of people explaining you what is the best strategy, what to do and what not, like pros and cons. And I was like, I actually kind of like this stuff, telling people how to grow, helping them start their own thing. And especially since I've been working for 4 years in IT, I was like, I got quite some knowledge about IT. I got quite some knowledge about growing your own business because I actually started my own business in real life. And this is apart from the whole growing your channel thing. But I basically want to help people grow their own business. So whether you're starting a YouTube channel about, streaming advice or music or whatever it is, I basically help people and give them tips to what you should do and what not to do. And this applies to literally everything, whether it's, a social media platform, YouTube, or you name it. But it's basically helping to provide them with the best information I can. And this is not just dedicated to gaming or anything. Surely I'm a gamer, but that doesn't mean my entire world is spinning about gaming.
Do you find that you come in contact with a lot of other Ruben and I have actually met once before on Omegle, and we were going
Yeah,
to
we actually,
we were going to do a Zoom conference, but I think it was really late there because you're over in the Netherlands. And
that's right.
do you find that you are coming in contact with a lot of other Twitch personalities, like on like are they international, or are they like in the Netherlands and Europe, or are they all over the world?
So I actually have been in contact with a lot of people, even internationally. There's two people actually that helped me grow, and vice versa as well. The guy goes by the name Alpha Gaming or Harris Heller. He's a pretty known Twitch streamer for giving stream advice on his YouTube. And he was kind of like my I wouldn't say idol, but I basically looked upon him to see how to grow your stuff. And then from that, I took so much advice to actually start my own kind of thing. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people actually checking him out and then to see what is good to do and what not to do. But even in the Netherlands, I also find many people. We have like a Dutch YouTube gathering, which is like an event where Dutch YouTubers gather together. It's similar to TwitchCon, for example. All these Twitch streamers come together at this event, and the same in the Netherlands. We have a DYTG, which is Dutch YouTube gathering, but then in a smaller variety of the name. And that's just like all the kind of YouTubers, and it's not just about gaming, but it's like literally everything. People who do cooking shows, people who do dancing, makeup, you name it. They all gather together in one event. And then you just talk about what your experience is. You meet new people, you meet new friends, and you kind of like build not really a community, but you kind of network yourself out. Or at least that's what I would do, because as a YouTuber from your side, from my side, being a Twitch streamer and you name it, it's still part like what is your goal? For me, it's like making a growth. The more people, the better for you. You can make content, and it's even for whether it's for you or for me, it's motivational because as you can see videos growing. For example, one video gets 60 views and maybe one gets 1 million. Surely that already puts in like, people like this more. Let's
Yeah.
generate my content about that stuff. It really, it doesn't matter whether it's internationally or whether it's in the Netherlands. I try to network myself in there to get as much people as I can. And I'm actually working right now on an actual website that is about growing a gaming / live community where people can put their own things. And this is not just generated about like gaming, but this is like, I would have 4 different sections, 4 different teams actually. And people can join these teams, whether they want to join, a girl team or a guy team or mixed together. But it's basically people sharing their stories, the same like you're doing. You're interviewing people, but I do it in a different way. I post like forums where people explain who they are, what they do. And then you kind of generate like, okay, maybe you'll fit in this team because more people of your kind of things. for example, you're really good for building connections between people, interviewing people, seeing what their story is. So I would put you with people who are similar doing the same thing instead of putting you at, I don't know, for God's sake, cooking show or something, because that would not make sense. Yeah,
Dude, well,
yeah,
if you'd want to have a really entertaining fire or something, you could put me on that. That'd be set
yeah,
fire
dude.
in the kitchen.
One Hell Kitchen, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Hell's Kitchen. That'll be the name of that blog, that forum.
Fire in Kitchen.
Yeah. Well, what the so like like it seems like you're extremely devoted to your cause of Twitch and YouTube and helping people and bringing people together and that is a real motivating cause for you. Like, do you do you feel like it's hard to do that in day to day life? Like, is it difficult to find that kind of in on Omegle as well? I mean, like this place is full of very different people, and I'd be interested in hearing kind of like your stories about what life is like for you, like in the Netherlands, and also what you've come across here on Omegle. If you have any stories.
Yeah, like definitely. So basically, in the Netherlands, as I said before, I work in IT. That's my actual job. So I work as an IT director. So I maintain a team of 12 people, and I basically, aka, motivate them, instruct them what to do and what not to do. Yeah, for real. And apart from that, yeah, whether it's, on Twitch, it's like you're talking to multiple people because it's a live stream. People join in, they check what you're doing. And on Omegle, I really like to have like these one-on-one conversations to talk to people and see what their story is. Also, that's why I put YouTube and Twitch in the tag list to see like, maybe people with a similar idea. And funny enough, everybody that I almost came across, they will be like, oh, dude, you must be a Twitch streamer or you must be a YouTuber. And honestly, I have no clue why. It could be maybe because my whole setup. That's what most people give me.
It's the quality of the video, definitely. That's the first thing right off the bat.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, and basically, when I check people, they're like, "Oh, dude, you have so many followers. Can you maybe help me out?" And that's kind of when I jump in. Even if you have 16 followers or 100, it doesn't matter how many you have. But I'm willing to give you tips, what to do, what not to do. Don't do all the kind of crazy things. And I think the biggest tip, and I think this is not just for gaming, like, for example, as a scenario, when you're starting as a Twitch streamer or a YouTuber and you're making videos about Fortnite, or games that are heavily streamed or like heavily content is being made about it, because everybody nowadays plays these kind of games, nobody's going to scroll down that list just to check you out. That's just a fact. The same with, I mean, I won't say you're like a Dr. Phil, but you're definitely, interviewing people. Now, you're just one person. When we look about YouTube, there's maybe 20 million more people about doing the same thing that you're doing. And that's definitely not like disencouraging. I mean, just still do your thing, but just, acknowledge that growing in no matter section or sector what you're doing, it's just going to be difficult. That's just how it is because everybody's going to do Twitch and YouTube these days.
That's life, man. Yeah, that's like at least from my perspective, like I'm a professional actor, so like when I moved to New York, like the thing is like just expect 100 auditions before you get any kind of acting role. Like you just have to go out there, put your heart out there, whether you like it or not, and just like put your best foot forward. And I think that's at least for me, like what the hardest part for acting is like, and less so for the YouTube channel because I mean I'm like in the comfort of my own home. There's really no stakes in if this like meeting goes well or not, but like going for an audition, like dressing up, having your monologue word perfect, going in there and putting your best foot. I mean, it's just like the most stressful thing in the world. I don't know why I do it to myself.
Yeah.
Like truly.
I mean, that's what I also tell people. I think that's like what you're referring to is, for example, you're doing YouTube, and you're probably like, I'm pretty sure when I hear the story about, you doing the whole monologue stuff and all that, it's very frustrating. But when you do YouTube and you're interviewing people, it might be really relaxing, or something that you might want to do in the future. As if, like, let's say this channel that you're doing right now maybe gets to 1 million as a example, you know, would you be able, and this is a question I normally ask people, like, would you consider transitioning over your actual job? For example, if I would be working in IT and I would grow a channel with 5 million subscribers, obviously I would make that my work. Not because of the income, because surely that's important, because everybody has to like make an income out there to actually live. But I do YouTube and Twitch as like on the side job right now. I like doing it. But if I was able to transition my actual job over to Twitch or YouTube, I definitely would, because it's something I always have been passionate about. And I remember when I was like way younger, I used to watch, like, for example, I was like 12 years old or something, and I would be watching, PewDiePie and Jacksepticeye, all these famous YouTubers. I was like, holy crap, these people can, make videos about games or go to any country they want to go to. And that's something I always wanted to do. So yeah, if I was able to transition over to, Twitch or YouTube, I would. But I think that's the main question I ask people, like, if you're growing a Twitch channel, a YouTube channel, a social media platform, or anything like that, what is your main purpose? Are you willing to make that your business eventually, or are you just doing it for fun and you do not like need anything from it? So yeah, and I'm pretty sure the same with you. Like, I remember I was watching these videos where people actually explain what the most frustrating thing about acting is. And it's actually you trying to get that job, because
Yeah.
you're first of all competing against so many people.
Yeah.
And you're gonna like literally.
The hard part of the job is like finding a job. You have to be a professional, like, job interviewer, pretty much. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And you're definitely competing against people, plus the fact that you have to literally kill your audition, because they're very strict with things there. Yeah. Assuming I'm not an actor, so.
Yeah. Well, no, you're absolutely right. I guess I'm interested too in like, in terms of like the Netherlands and everything, and being there, and how prevalent is kind of the news of the United States in like the Netherlands media.
Netherlands? Mm-hmm. Really big.
Yeah. So like what do you hear about the United States over there?
To be fair, we are kind of like mixed around the United States, with the news, at least, with like the United States, and pretty much all around, but mainly right now between the US and the Netherlands, because it's not like we have anything against the United States, but we're really gathered about the information about, what is Trump doing, all these false claims. I remember I was listening to the news and I heard this whole thing coming by where they said Trump made about 20,000 claims. And, I am by no means, a Trump supporter or anything like that. Yeah. But it's very concerning when somebody has 20,000 false claims that he's still president.
Oh, that's just run of the mill. That's just par for the course here, man. That is the state of our country right now. What is it is like? Are you confident in your government in the Netherlands? Like, what is it like over there?
Oh yeah.
Like, could you tell people, like, because people in America have no idea what the fuck is going on in the Netherlands, So like, what's going on there?
I mean, so we're like a very small country, I mean, we're not really small, but we're also not really big. And we have like a prime minister who is literally acting the same way as Trump, but in the right way. Not like in a bad way. No.
No, careful. No. But yeah, what do you mean by that?
So we have a king and a queen. But the prime minister of the Netherlands, aka actually the president, he explained, keep your distance. He had about 7 to 8 actual live streams where he would be telling people on TV, keep your distance. When Corona actually came out, he gave the right example what to do. Kind of like pros and cons as well, because Corona is an actual serious thing. And for such a small country, surely it might be more difficult for somebody like Trump to, support his entire American country, because it's really big compared to the Netherlands. But if I compare these two, Trump and the prime minister here, I would say that Trump really messed up bigly because, to be fair, maybe people disagree or agree with me, but it's for my part at least, it's a fact. Um, and right now, Corona here is about. I remember we had so many cases, and the last couple of days we only had like one live case. I think Corona here is like a 0.2%
Oh
right now
my
because
God.
for us right now, it's like we already opened so many things. We opened clubs, restaurants, literally everything. But we still, take measures to keeping the distance, wearing masks in trains, and all that. Um, yeah, I definitely think that they're giving a really bright example in the Netherlands what to do and what you should or not do. But yeah, the Netherlands is really amazing. To be fair, I've been living here my entire life. I'm looking into buying a house right now in Amsterdam, and honestly, with people, with Corona right now, it might not be the best to travel. That's just a fact. Whether like any country you go to, but yeah, it's definitely like I would advise people to go to the Netherlands. It's a really small country, but it's definitely worth visiting because everybody I've been talking to, they are all positive about the Netherlands. And okay, this is maybe a really stupid thing to say, but whenever people ask me like, "Oh, you're from the Netherlands, the country from drugs and weed," and all people do that kind of stuff, which yes, like I wouldn't say all drugs, but like most drugs here are illegal. Soft drugs, I should refer to, because a lot of people in the Netherlands, are that's wrong.
That's okay.
People go to the Netherlands in Amsterdam specifically to smoke weed. That's just a pure thing that people do here. Because, like as I said before, everybody that I talk to, whether they're from the United States, England, or Germany, or you name it, when I tell them like, "Hey, I'm from the Netherlands," they'll be like, "Oh, so do you smoke weed?" And that's like literally every question
The
I
first
get.
question.
Yeah. So no, I would highly advise people if you're willing to go to a small country, but literally one of the best experience out there, go to the Netherlands. You'll love it.
So, what are the soft drugs, and what's the difference between a soft drug and a hard drug? Would you say?
Well, I mean, literally a soft drug, for example, and I'm not talking about alcohol and cigarettes because they are also drugs, but I'm like, for example, a soft drug, which is the most common one, would be weed,
Uh-huh.
you know, cannabis, for example. And then a hard drug would be heroin. Like nobody's going to tell you in the Netherlands, like, "Oh, here you go. If you have a few packs of needles," and no, nobody would do that. That's just if you're in a coffee shop here, and they'll be like, "Yeah, you can buy. We can have 5 grams of weed on the streets, and police won't do anything. You're safe to go. You can grow plants, like 3 to 5 plants, I think, at home." But as long as you do it on a normal way, like don't sell it to kids, don't sell it on the streets or anything like that.
What about hallucinogenic drugs? Or is that legal there?
No, I think that's illegal. I remember there was a time where it was legal, but people have been doing so many weird things. When they were hallucinating, people would get in cars, they would drive their bikes, drive actually into.
Ugh.
There was a story, and this was very stupid. There was a person who was hallucinating. He was driving his bike, and he drove into the lake and never got out.
That's awful. Yeah, I'm laughing because it's ridiculous, right? Like, that's so
Yeah.
crazy. What about
Yeah.
is cocaine considered a soft drug?
No, cocaine is hard.
Okay. So really,
Yeah.
like by soft drug, it's pretty much just like weed
It's
and edibles
pretty
and
much,
stuff like that. I see.
yeah.
Okay. Because I was wondering
Yeah.
if was it the Netherlands or Belgium or maybe some Scandinavian country that was talking about opening up even harder drugs, but then having kind of health facilities nearby the places where those drugs would be sold. Was that the Netherlands? I don't think so.
No, no.
Amsterdam.
No, I wouldn't say we are like saying you're safe about your drugs is maybe a bit weird, but we are definitely a country who really secures their position into like, yeah, we legalize soft drugs, but we definitely keep it clean. As in a way, like people can surely smoke, weed, for example, as long as you do no harm to yourself or the people around you.
Right.
Um, no, we never claim to open anything about hard drugs or anything. That's either a different country or a false claim by someone.
Interesting.
I was also wondering if I may ask you something real
Yeah,
quick
absolutely.
between
Totally.
totally off topic, but like I really like these kind of like one-on-one conversations like we're doing right now.
Yeah, man.
I was just wondering like if I ever live stream or something, would you be able to like do the same thing but then on a live stream? I'm pretty sure
Oh,
people would enjoy it.
you know what? I have never considered it. I have never considered it, but I would consider doing it. Yeah, actually, I think that'd be
Yeah,
pretty cool.
definitely.
I think
See it as an invite.
yeah, I think it would be cool to. I mean, what I would love to do is try to get like one or two, because I've talked to like a few people now, and there's some people whose perspectives are just so intelligent, but very different from mine. And I would love to try to do something like that on a live stream. You know what I mean?
Go for it. Yeah.
That's mine.
To be fair, I it's really off topic, but I saw this guy on Twitch, and he seems to be like a PhD doctor who is like working in a hospital as, I don't know, heart surgeon, or really I have no clue.
Mhm.
Um, but he literally opens up the same thing you're doing right now. You know, he goes on Twitch, goes live, he invites people to his live stream, and he talks about their physical problems, their mental problems, and I think the guy's like 22 or something, but he already has over 4 million followers
Isn't that
just by talking
crazy?
to
Do you
people.
happen to have his? Do you know what his Twitch account is? Is it Twitch or?
Um, yeah, that is Twitch. Let me check real quick. I'm not sure if he's live, but he's like doctor or something.
Yeah. Is he in the Netherlands?
No, he's in the United States.
It would be funny if
Um,
it was my. I have a friend who's a doctor at Harvard. That would be really funny if it was him. There's no way it's him. He's not a YouTube Twitcher kind of guy.
it would be kind of funny. He's not online right now, I think.
Okay.
No.
I'd like to. Well, yeah, we can. I'm sure. Hey, if we've run into each other twice on Omegle, then chances are we'll run into each other again.
100%. If you keep the tags on YouTube and Twitch, I'll definitely probably see you.
Yeah, I need to add Twitch and I need to add TikTok because I get way fewer people jacking off when I have those on. You know.
I totally feel you. I have the same though. I remember like somebody told me, just for fun, put in the tags pizza, melon, and food. I put in melon, and I found somebody jerking off to the tag melon. What is wrong with people?
Dude,
It's
melon? I gotta try that.
People are so weird, man. On Omegle.
What about pizza? Did you hit anyone with pizza?
Um, yeah, I found some people, but then I would usually ask a question like, "Do you prefer pizza or sushi?" But like, I was like, "Why do I still have pizza in my tags?" I was like, "That doesn't make sense."
That's hilarious. Well, before we get going, do you have any kind of anything that you'd want to say about any kind of like causes that you believe in, or any websites or organizations that you'd like to kind of shout out to that you think maybe people would learn something from checking out?
Yeah, 100%. First of all, I definitely want to thank you for this entire conversation because as I said before, I really liked them, talking to someone, helping you grow your kind of
Yeah,
things
man.
and vice versa. But yeah, I would say people who want to like, start live streaming, and this is not just purposely for myself, but I would say either, go to my Twitch, ask me questions, or go to Harris Heller, aka Alpha Gaming. He's way bigger than I am. But he's aka like a stream doctor. He also does the same thing that I do. But he's a very knowledgeable guy. He's been streaming for 10 years now. So he tells people like how to grow your Twitch, how to grow merch, how to grow your social platform. And I think the best thing what you need to do, even in you, like it doesn't matter whatever goal you're doing, whether it's gaming, whether it's talk shows, whatever, um, growing your growth, like whether you're doing YouTube, it's about multi-platforming. That's what I learned from him. For example, if you grow on YouTube right now, and just as Mixer is a streaming platform where people went really big, people like Ninja and Shroud, if you ever heard of those names,
Oh yeah.
um, Mixer not too long ago went down, and they just sent a tweet to the like people with over 1 million followers saying like, "Hey, sorry, but our streaming software is down," and they just literally just blocked everybody's account in just one click without sending an email or anything. Um, the thing is about multi-platforming, and I think this is the biggest priority for people, is to make Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, any other social platform, no matter if you just have 2 followers or anything like that. But let's say you have so much growth on YouTube and YouTube dies one day, you have other platforms to basically, still grow on. if you don't do that and YouTube dies, you won't have any growth on any platform at all.
It makes
If
sense.
you don't multi,
Yeah, it just makes sense. You know, like like you want to put your eggs in all the other baskets. Even I think maybe the thing that may become overwhelming is like if you have so many platforms up, it's like you have so many different things to kind of manage and to upkeep, you know, and but it seems like it would be natural if you grow kind of like your mother base, which is I guess for you Twitch and for me YouTube, right? That like all the other ones will kind of rise with it too.
I
You
think it's like
think?
diversifying your growth. Even like I do Twitch as I said before, but I do YouTube, I do Instagram, and surely I make more content on Twitch and YouTube because I just diversify it that if in any case Twitch or YouTube or anything goes down, I still can rely on other platforms. You know, if I have just equal much growth on Twitch or Instagram, then if Twitch dies, that doesn't really affect me as much as if I would have a growth on Twitter or YouTube or Instagram. But if I only like people, what they would do is they only made content on Mixer, and then Mixer died. Yeah, you're lost because you don't have any other growth.
That would suck. Could you imagine? Like all that work.
Oh, I still talk to people nowadays, like people over that have over a million like followers on Instagram and stuff like that, and they told me the story that Mixer didn't inform anybody. They didn't say like, "Hey, we're soon going down." They just sent a tweet, not even an email or anything, just a tweet to people saying like, "Hey, we're sorry, Mixer's going down. In fact, we will give you Twitch Partner, even though you have 0 followers on Twitch. We'll just give you Twitch Partner, which doesn't do jack shit."
Oh,
Um, but yeah, everybody just lost their fan base.
oh
I
my
remember this
god.
guy. There's this guy that I follow. He gets at least on Mixer. He got about 4,000 live viewers. Now he streams on Twitch and he only gets like 50. That's a huge difference.
Yeah, that's I don't know if that translate. I mean, in terms of the following, like that's a world of a difference. Uh, man.
I think if you want to like make a YouTube video about this, I'd say call it, for example, talking to a stream doctor, talking to somebody with streaming advice or something. Download, as I said before, TubeBuddy. Not sure. Oh, I'm pretty sure you already used it, right? Or
I
didn't you?
think you told me about it. I think you told me about it.
It shows you what like the best titles are to make the most effort out of your videos.
Hmm.
I don't want to brag about it, but I do have to go right now. If
Yeah,
that's okay
well,
with
that's
you.
perfect. Yeah, actually, yeah, I was just gonna actually, if you would be able to send me a picture of yourself to this email, I'll use it for the thumbnail for the video.
Sure thing. I can do that right now.
Cool.
Ruben, I'll send it to you right now, and we'll talk again.
Yeah, yeah, well, we'll see each other. Now you have my
All
email,
right.
so we can email. All right, man.
Oh, lovely.
All right, cool. See you, dude.
Peace out,
Bye.
man. Take care.
Cool, dude.